ladies and gentle twits of the core community, it is I, the truth-talking, non-bullshitting, the greatest heel in the land. It is your favourite, and everyone's favourite, Professor Buzzard! Now, core community bandersnatchers, I am going to talk today about a topic that has become rather, well, a topic that's trended across Twitter and different news outlets. That is, of course, the release of the brand new WWE game, WWE 2K20. Now, before we get to that, I would like to give you all a little message. So, turn those ears this way and listen! Whoever follows me on Twitter or finds me on Twitter at ProfBuzzard, if you're going to cut a promo on me, either tweeting or specifically in the direct messaging feature, please use correct grammar, non-generic promos or insults, if that's what you can call them. So use proper sentences, grammar, actual words, no bruv or soz or, I don't know, or the slang you lot use. Bro, use proper words! Because I just tune out, and I laugh at your ridiculousness. And I'd also like to say, GCA, congratulations on a absolutely marvellous pay-per-view. If you didn't see it, go to their YouTube channel. It's called League of Champions. Yes, I wasn't successful. Never mind. Some of my opponents were on Twitter. Siler Jordan. Oh, if it was just me and you, I got eliminated. It was supposed to be a fatal four-way, no elimination rules. You don't see me whining. I pick myself off the floor, and I carry on. Oh, I'm better than him. He should be champion. Shut up! You whiny little bitches. You go to the teacher. Oh, miss, he did this, he did that. Oh, grow some balls. Anyway, congratulations, GC, on a great show. I'm looking forward to the return of your content. I know you're all working hard, and we should all be excited for that, because you're ever growing and always developing. So, round of applause for you. Now, to the topic at hand of today. Now, this episode came about. I've had to move the two episodes, entitled Professor Buzzard and the World of Dullets, and I'll be the judge of that. That was going to be the original episodes 5 and 6, but I've moved those for a later date, because new topics have arisen that will be more of interest for you. And this specific episode has been requested a lot. Everybody wanted me to talk about WWE 2K20. And, as you may have seen on Twitter, I have had a few things to say about that. Let's say crapstorm, shall we? Let's dive right into it. Now, I recently got 2K20 for rather cheaply, if I may add, because I knew what was going to happen. Let's talk about my overall thing first. The game is shite. Absolute shite. And wait for the 2K Kiss-Ass Club to go on me again. I had it all over in my direct messaging. Oh, you're just a hater, why do you play it? Rah, 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 rah. Well, good sirs and good ladies who message me, you can stick those comments up your derrieres! Let's go into it. Gameplay. Oh, the gameplay. What? What gameplay? Well, I can go on matches. Pretty much every of my matches, even after this blimmin' patch. The wrestlers have morphed into each other, Royal Rumble is broken, you can sink outside the Hell in a Cell, my superstar I was playing as Pete Dunne or someone, and his legs were inside the cell, and half his body was outside the cell, so it made him go all wiggly-woggly, and then they look like Play-Doh. They don't look realistic at all. So they're broken. Ladder matches are just, TLC matches, cage matches are not much different. But if you look at the actual gameplay, it's so clunky. They want to go all about realism, don't they? But it's not realistic at all. They move around like two pensioners. It's, I'll hit you, I'll do this, I'm down. Heavens above! It just looks so bad. Remember the gameplay of Here Comes the Pain? I'm waiting for the people in the comments to go, go and play that instead then, and stop shitting on this. Shut up, you blind buffoons! This is in front of my eyes. And if you have a brain, you can join the two together. It's what you see, and how you perceive it. So when I see a pile of dog shite, my brain says, oh yes, that is a pile of dog shite. None of this, it's a transition year, and Yuke's left, and left visual concepts to do it. What? What the hell's a transition year? There shouldn't even be one in gaming. You're taking money off of people. What are you talking about? Stop making excuses. They're just lazy, and it's so obvious there's no love into this series anymore. Goodness sake. Sometimes I'll just smack you across the face, some of you. There shouldn't be a transition year. This game was unfinished. A bad carbon copy of 2K19. Even that game was a step in the right direction. Wasn't the best, was it? But it was playable. But yes, back to the expedition mode while I go off my rants, because it makes me so angry. But just the gameplay is just broken. And then I've seen videos of people sinking into the ring, flying around. I've had that once. I've seen the ropes go absolutely crazy, and that's the thing. When I've played as female superstars, or even it's happened to the male superstars, mainly females for some reason, they get stuck to the rope. That never happened in 19. For me, anyway. They get stuck to the rope. Like it's made of sellotape or glue, because it just bounces back with them. Just what? I don't know how they can break a game so much when they've literally just copied 19, if that makes sense. And all this stuff that's happening, I do not know how they've done it. It's just, ugh. So yes, the gameplay is even worse than it's ever been. They say, well, we're trying to do it realistic. Well, look at the WWE product. Does that match up with the WWE games? No, it doesn't! The 2K gameplay is like two trainees who have no idea what they're doing and they're making it up on the spot. It's so slow. Speed it up. Remember Here Comes the Pain gameplay or SmackDown vs. Raw? It was so quick and, you know, it was fast paced and you got too excited and you can have fun with your friends with it. Now it takes 30 minutes to do one match. It goes so slow and they just put you off doing many matches. It's just, But it used to be so like, it used to be quick. And you would be like, oh, this is awesome. Now you just feel like it's a chore to get through a match. And all those blimmin' 2.5 counts. 1, 2, oh. Goodness sake. Have 2 or 3 of them, not... Oh, it goes on for so long. 1, 2, It wasn't AW. Because we all know their matches go 100 minutes a match. That's a topic for another time. But yes, that's Expedition Mode. Just, the gameplay needs an absolute overhaul, because it's just... you know... Then we have the different types of modes. Showcase mode, where it's based on the 4 horsewomen. I don't know why it's based on those 4, I'm kinda getting sick of them. It wasn't just those 4 that changed the game. This is what I hate about WWE. They keep saying, oh, it's the women's evolution, blah blah blah. Yes, that's all good and well, but they could have done this 15 years ago. You see what I'm saying? I mean, if you look at the TNA Now Impact Wrestling Knockouts division, they were doing this in 2007. They started the ball rolling on this, and they didn't make a big deal about, oh, the first ever. Stop saying the first ever! They love that term. Yet it's good. Yes, I like seeing the women get more of a spotlight in WWE, but it's just based on those 4 women. There was women before them! So many I can name, but I won't go, that's a topic for another time. But the 4 horsewomen aren't the only superstars in your roster. A few years before them they had AJ Lee and Paige. They weren't your typical divas. You know, it's just that. But I played a bit of the showcase mode, but it just kept glitching out, so I couldn't play it. So I went onto YouTube after it kept freezing. I got to the NXT TakeOver between Bayley and Sasha match. Then it kept freezing, so I can't do that, thank you very much. 2K Visual Concepts. But I went onto the grand world that is YouTube, and I watched it through, ready for this podcast. Oh my lord. Can I point one thing out? More glitches, more bugs, more just laziness, and I don't know how some of this even happens. Another thing I would like to point out is why in the God's name was the Divas Championship match between Charlotte Flair and Nikki Bella, the Night of Champions arena, was wrong. They made the matte black, the fonts and logos and colours of the arena, it was just wrong! How does one's development team get that wrong? There's pictures and videos! What are they doing over there? Have they got a brain between them in those offices? No! Heavens above! They're so flippin' lazy, it's rather frustrating. And I hope they're hearing this, because they need to stick their heads out of the stand and put them back up into the world and see how broken, how lazy, how disappointed us fans are. And some people go, oh, he's getting over angry over this. Oh, he's so passionate. Blah, blah, it's only a game. No, it's a game that many people buy every year, which is half the problem. But we expect to get what we're paying for. THQ, when they were with Ukes, they managed to bring out a good game every year. So there's no excuse. Yes, some of the 2K options now are way better, like the Crate Arena, Crate Superstar, it's all very developed. But when you've got a game, you can't play it in properly. What's the point? See, if we had Create a Superstar and all of that jargon back in the day on SmackDown vs. Raw, they would have been the greatest games ever, and they were already great. People would want a wrestling simulator. They want something arcade, something out there. But the only problem with these games are, there's no competition. Not big league competition anyway, because I know there's other smaller ones, like Fire Pro. They've got no competition, so they just think, oh, we'll throw that out. We'll throw that out. We'll throw that out. Yeah. But anyway, yes, the showcase mode, nothing to write home about. It's just doing what was on TV. So, it didn't interest me much in the slightest. Let's just say that. Then there's Universe mode, which is pretty much the same as ever, but just more broken. Because the one I played, I managed to do 2 matches, and now it freezes every time. So I can't play that either. Thank you again. And all they did was, we added 1 extra title. Ooh! Exciting! 1 extra rivalry. Ooh! Exciting again! Give me a break. And it's broken as ever because rivalries don't work! They broke that too! Again, they just need to change that whole mode. People have asked for General Manager mode. Since the one they got rid of after SmackDown vs. Raw 2008. Yes, the one everyone's been badgering on about. I propose this. Why don't they scrap Universe mode? Start it again. Have all the bits and bobs everyone likes, like create a show because that's what we all do. Change everything about it. Get some voice actors for the promos because we're in 2019 or nearly 2020, goddammit. We're still reading promos like it's SmackDown 2. But what I suggest is, bring aspects of General Manager mode into Universe. Make Universe more GM mode-like. You have the book the show. Have the ratings. Have fans. The fan support. when it would show you how this fan change here. Have the .com where it shows, oh, this got match of the week, and this got show of the week, and this did that. And actually make it so you're competing. Say if you wanted to create 2 of your own shows, I don't know, of a fictional company, say you had a show called Skirmish and a show called Shootout. Friday Night Shootout may be controlled by, you can choose if it is controlled by you, or controlled by the computer, or AI, or whatever you want to call it. And then you control Skirmish, which may be on Tuesday nights, and then you compete against it. And even at pay-per-views, have your specific matches starred against each other, so the Skirmish World title may be 5 stars, and the Shootout World title may have a 4.5 star rating. And then do it that way, and compete. Say they got this rating, and then say this match won because they got better match rating. Bring back injuries or more of a... I know they're there, well they're supposed to be there, but bring them out more often. Have the little bar that shows how injured they are, so when you put them in certain matchups, it affects them. That's realism. If they're trying to do realism, they're going the wrong way about it. Popularity section. Where the fans, you could get them to 100 and get them to 90, and it affects the match rating because people care about them. It's these little touches that can make the game so good. And what I also like? I'd just go back to the gameplay a minute. It just sprung to mind. I would like to see the camera moved from the front side of the ring to the announce table side. It just looks better that way, in my opinion. I did always like it that way, or even just have it in Royal Rumble. Where you can see people run down the ramp. I did like that on Here Comes the Pain. But did you see Smack Talks? Little plug for you here, Smack Talks. Hello, good sirs. They did an updated Here Comes the Pain concept video, and they had the camera moved to the other side. I thought it looked absolutely wonderful. Do things like that, just make it different. So yes, Universe mode I can't play because it freezes. So thanks again, 2K, aren't you a bunch of lovely individuals? And then there's the career mode. Dear me! I managed to scrape through just last night and finish it. After I found a way to stop freezing, I had to delete all the logos off my superstar. Now, I know I said I was going to do a video of me commentating on it, but I am not playing that absolute horseshite again. What on earth? I have never played something that has felt like a chore just as much as that. By the end of it, I wanted to smack every single character in the face. I didn't care for them one bit. They tried to do the emotional story of Trey, but can I be honest? I couldn't give 2 flying shits. I never sworn so much in my life. I'm not one for swearing, but this... What on earth? And that writing, some of those so-called insults Red was flying around. Oh, sweet Jesus. I would like to meet their writing team. Actually, no, I wouldn't, because I wouldn't want to be in a room with such numbskulls! Oh my god. What was that about the grandma and having given her bread sores, and Red, you just wanted to give a smack round the ear because she just got so irritating, and she was all about her, nothing about Trey, and then Trey was just a joke, so I felt sorry for the players who have a main male superstar that had made them look like a stupid idiot. And then on the indie scene, what the hell was going on there? Dance-offs with a guy in a rib costume, then you had a bloody nappy match against X-Pac for some reason, then you were going for an audition, then you were in a stupid realm, then when Nikki Cross was crawling across the wall, Red was flung across the forest. What the hell? What on earth was that utter buffoonery? I have never witnessed someone butcher the opportunity to storytell so much. And don't get me started on Brooklyn Bloody Von Braun, aka Discount Ronda Rousey. You know when they revealed the plaque with her in that gym they were naming after her? She was doing the Ronda Rousey pose. The Ronda Rousey pose! They couldn't even bother to make an original character. It was Ronda Rousey! Oh, this career mode's so good. Well, no, it's not. It's a bunch of horse shite. It wasn't even funny. It just made me cringe. I've never thought I would need plastic surgery in my life, but I think I need Botox now for the amount of times I've cringed and I've got a crease on the side of my head. It was just stupid. Oh, I nearly missed the best part. Samoa Joe amputated his arm with this badly programmed, badly made prosthetic metal arm, whatever he was calling it. Bionic arm, whatever he wanted to call it. Because 7 years prior, your Trey character got him fired. Or something. That was me banging a head against the desk. What on earth are they thinking? He came back, I cut my arm off I amputated my own arm, so I could knock you out with it. For goodness sake. Am I the only one who wanted to smack them by the end of it? Some sense? It just dragged on too long. Aye. Only I could have written a better story. And even the graphics. What were those clipping movements in the talking? You know, you talked in Italian, she looked like a grasshopper. Going, ooh, ah, yeah, hurrah, body, we'll go this and clip back here. And when you're backstage and you're talking to the one-on-one in the corridor and things like that, they would go up and down, their head will be down at the bottom of the screen, then they'll be back up again, they'll be down again, and then what was going on? And then their mouths wouldn't move with them talking. It's 2019, for heaven's sake! Program your things properly! So career mode was one giant crapstorm, and I'm never playing it again. Aye. And then we have the Creation Suite. Oh boy. This is where some of the main problems come from. As we all know, the Creation Suite is probably the most popular thing in the game. Most of us don't want to play as the real superstars. They have broken so much of the Creation Suite. Creator Championship isn't there anymore. We'll patch it later. What are you thinking? Aye. Logos not appearing. Superstars' faces disappearing. I bet you've all seen the Becky Lynch photos. There's one in the thumbnail you're looking at right now watching this. Disappearing faces. They've got rid of the outline for the letters. Body parts disappear with certain bits. The facing, when you do face photos, that's absolutely messed up. You can't line it up properly. When you stretch the head, the eye moves. One of the eyes moves. Is the right eye usually that goes up and down with it? What the fuck? Again, I don't usually swear, but what the fucking hell? How can you break something so much? Creator entrance is meh. Moveset, I've had glitches with the background people. They're floating in the corner when they're doing taunts. You know the title taunts you can choose from before your title match. They're in the bloody corner. They're messed up. Highlight reel has been absolutely destroyed. From 27 clips to 7-second clip, create a video, you go and choose a video and it takes bloody 20 minutes to load. I feel like they should get rid of Create a Victory and just put it in the entrance part, so you have to go off and go on again. And they've ruined some of the hairs. You put color in it, looks weird. And back to career mode slightly, and it matches with Creation Suite. Did anyone else have the glitch, because I had, when you're doing Red's menu screen pose, and her fingers would stretch, which is like E.T.? What the hell? And I'm sure some of you have asked questions about the Creation Suite in a minute, and I'll get to that later. Then we have community creations, the main part of this community. It's absolutely messed up. This game has to be tested by 2 companies. before I could be released. And they thought this was worth releasing! What is wrong with you? The problem with this is, money talks. That AJ Kirsch or whatever he's called, Mr. Yulu Tag Champion, yes, my friend Buzz from 2K20, basically tweeted, well, there's too much money to be lost if they won't release one every year. So we're just a money factory to them, like giving us the worst game possible. Unfinished piece of shit. Your wallets talk, people. Put the money away. The version I got was used, and I got it for $5. It's not even worth that. I got it off eBay, and the guy said, I don't want you wasting your money on it either. And he said, enjoy this shit. And I said, thank you, good sir, I hate it. With a wink emoji. I only got it for research purposes, so I can actually comment on it, because I've played it. Just a load of bull. You hear this? Developers of the game. Like, destroyers of the series, that's why the thumbnail is a coffin, if you didn't understand. And then the two sheep are crying, because they're all the ones on 2K's arse. Going, it's not released yet, or the week... Oh, and yes, the week before, the stupid motherfuckers on Twitter going, oh, it's only a week to release, this is not the final product. Yes, it is! Have you got a brain? And they couldn't even bother to do the SmackDown edition properly. People were getting unsigned copies of things they paid bloody 130 quid for, I don't know what is in dollars. So Edge has to make his own P.O. box and sort it out. They send us these stupid tickets, saying, oh, we'll solve this problem. No, they're not even taking it seriously. The last patch did absolutely nothing. They're a bunch of lazy sods who are sat there scratching themselves half the year because they can't be arsed. And there's no love in the game. Jeez. And people going, oh, I'm enjoying it. It's really good anyway. The best one I saw was some Becky Lynch fan under her comments went, the game's not that great, but I got it anyway because you're on the cover. What the actual hell is wrong with some of you? Open your eyes! So put your money away. And then we had the hashtag Fix WWE 2K20. It trended in Great Britain for 2 days. Didn't they see this on Twitter? Because I know it trended in the United States and afar. Which leads me to a comment made by a WWE executive, and I want to correct this lady because she can't even defend the company correctly. Listen to this. WWE co-president Michelle Wilson briefly mentioned WWE 2K20 and its feedback, as we all know, was all negative, at an earnings call with investors. This stupid woman downplayed the debacle that is WWE 2K20. She stated, finally, we continued the evolution of our franchise video game with the launch of WWE 2K20 on October 22nd, which was developed by Take-Two Interactive. No, it wasn't. Listen, good lady, you want to get your facts right first. It was developed by Visual Concepts, published by 2K Sports, and 2K Sports, which is a subsidiary to Take-Two Interactive. Not developed by, goodness sake. They can't even get it right. She then said, while the initial feedback on the release has been mixed. No, it wasn't mixed, good lady. Who is this dumb woman? I know some of you now, oh, he's getting sexist, he's calling a woman dumb. No, she's just a dumb human. Listen to what she said. While the initial feedback on the release has been mixed, we believe in the ability of Take-Two Interactive to further develop the game engine, enabling new functionality and experiences over time that are critical to driving the game's long-term growth. Is she blind? Has she even played the game? She can't even get the person who made it correctly. Goodness sake. Oh yes, this brings me to the next issue. Ukes didn't leave. They were pushed out. Read things, people. Oh, there's a transition year. It was a transition year because Ukes left 2K mid-development. No, they were pushed out. Because they wanted to go in a new direction. What? Was this direction downwards? Into the pits of the abyss? I know someone's going to try and correct me on that, but you're wrong. I am correct, as usual. Do your research before trying to outdo me on Twitter, on here, on anywhere. Because none of you have brain cells. Just like the WWE Games development team. And then we got the Bump in the Night DLC False Advertised Pack. You get them on release. Oh no, you're getting them a week later now. And that's just a stupid mode. You can dress it up as much as you like. I played part of it. It's literally just playing expedition mode in stupid arenas. Oh, I'm in a graveyard. Exciting. I'm in a volcano. Ooh. What's the difference? You're just dressing up. There's nothing different about it. You're just in a Halloween arena. In a volcano. In a thing. It's just the same thing. Could have had something new, a new match type or something. An Inferno match for the volcano, a buried alive match for the graveyard. They couldn't even bother to do that. So yes, my overall opinion of WWE 2K20. This game is the worst wrestling game. Actually, scrap that. It is the worst game of the year. I have never seen such laziness from a company. They have literally killed it. That is why there's a coffin. They better take their heads out of their asses and look around them. They have a lot of unhappy customers and disappointed fans. Do they care? Obviously not. You can go, oh, wait for the next patch. Ooh. When have patches ever fixed their games? These problems are so inbuilt, they're not going to change. Unless we get an overhaul of the engine. The overhaul of the entire game. And they're going to keep taking your money. Because they don't give two utter monkeys. To conclude before the next segment. This game is trash. Save your money. I've never seen so many bugs in one game. And they have the balls, at least, to promote it. But promoting it is just cheeky and disgraceful to the fans that have been so loyal to this series for a very long time. So don't buy it, people. Every mode is broken to some extent. The My Career is the worst story mode, or my player, my career, whatever. Absolutely awful. Creation Suite is broken. Universe doesn't load. Showcase mode is full of bugs and glitches. Expedition mode is clunky and just unplayable at times. But what gets me is so many people have had so many glitches. Which brings me to the next segment of the show. Last night, I had an idea. I thought I'd ask you all the different glitches and bugs and all the issues you've had with 2K20 and let's bring them into the light on my podcast. So let's go to that list right now in a segment I'm calling 2K20, you piece of shite. Starting with Maximus, hello good sir. He says, just people not being able to download me on community creations. Now, good sir, I think you're not the only one who's had that issue. The whole community is. And what I believe, or what I've seen when I've done my research, some people can't download some people because they need parts from Rikishi and people like Ivory when they're not even in the bloody game. It's absolutely ridiculous. That is one big issue. Who else has sent one in? Next is from a man named Blackwire, who I am well acquainted with. A man of many creative talents, t-shirts, logos, all that jargon. You should check out his stuff. That nincompoop actually does have talent, even though we have crossed paths a few times. Even I can't deny that imbecile has talent. He's recently did a t-shirt from me, and that's obviously the best t-shirt he's done for the best superstar there is in the core community. He writes, the issue I have been experiencing have only compounded since the last patch. 1. I'm now able to download my logos using the logo uploader, but the vast majority of the time my PS4 indicates that there are no logos to download. I experience this frustration appropriately 90% of the time when attempting to import logos. I have also had this issue. I can't even get logos on there, and I've seen many people have put it up 10 times, a logo they try to upload, and it doesn't come up on their bloody game. Number 2, the face logo and mapping/morphing still requires fixing. I know that you are aware of this issue, so I won't go into detail unless you want. Yes, I'm fully aware. We've spoke about this previously in the show. 3, the game crashes 100% of the time when applying custom logos to your creator superstar. Again, I know that you are aware of this issue, so I won't go into detail unless you want. That was also discussed. They can't make a bloody functioning game. Many items in the Creation Suite require retooling as they often float or separate from the creator superstar. That is true. 5. The material texture for designs require attention. When applying a design to an article of clothing and changing the material of the design, it changes the material of the article of clothing. That is also true. I've also experienced this. Let me know in the comments if you have. Number 6. The timing in the creator entrance is off. I have also mentioned this. This is very true. I am not the only one experiencing this. Do you know what I want to say about the entrances? Do you remember an advanced entrance on the old TH2 games? When, obviously in advanced entrance, you can choose different parts of different entrances. So, well, on the stage you may do, say, Seth Rollins, and on the ramp you may do, I don't know, The Undertaker. Now, between those two clips, it just jumps. And it looks a bit strange when you do it. It used to cut to the audience, it used to pan across and then go to the next scene. They should bring that back. Because wouldn't that be fine? So you can choose whatever entrance you wanted without it looking weird. Am I wrong? No, I'm not, probably. I'm always right. Then we have number 7. The hair texture in Creator Superstar is now shiny, giving everyone a wet hair look. This is what I sort of said earlier. The hair looks odd. So when I was on Create My Player mode, My Career, whatever you want to call it, the hair looks weird on some people. They've ruined some hairs. So I'm obviously not the only one who's seen this. Number 8. Changing the layer placement for logos on an article of clothing requires attention. One's ability to change the layer of placement of a particular logo is a game of chance. I've also experienced that. I'm sure many of you have too. Number 9. The game crashes frequently, and besides the adding of custom logos crash, it is absolutely impossible to pinpoint the other cause. I've had the game crash in every conceivable aspect of the game play, and have reported the crash each time. I can continue more faults that require attention, but I feel that this is a good start. Look, people, that list, Blackwire has just provided a list of main points, and he could go on, and on, and on. The company obviously do not care at all, or we wouldn't be in this mess. Yeah. Now next, we have a man named Jack Nichols. Never heard of you, good sir, but hello. He says, every time I play a singles match, tag team match, triple threat match, any type of match, all the superstars mess up. They fly around the ring, don't connect, the hit detection's off, and it just doesn't work, and I've gone back to playing Here Comes the Pain. SmackDown vs. Raw and WWE 13. Probably the last decent game. Yes, I've seen videos of that, but I didn't realise it happened in every match. So, good choice to moving away from that garbage. Next is from a lady called Emily. She says, I've tried to make my crate a female, crate superstar, crate a woman, whatever you want to call it, and her hair keeps floating above her head. I've seen no one else experience this apart from Becky Lynch, and it keeps happening even after the patch. I've downloaded the patch, and nothing's happened. Goodness sake. Well, Emily, all I can say is, keep saying fix 2K20. Next question. From a guy named Louis Andrews. He says, or Lewis, depending on where you are. He says, I have done the 2K... Lewis. Or Louis. What did I say about sending in bad sentence structure? Imbecile. Anyway, now I see why 2K aren't responding to you. He says, let me try and rephrase this. He's basically saying 2K, he's done the ticket thing, the 2K, the support thing does, you know, the generic message they seem to copy and paste. He says he's done that about 100 times, but still no answer, and still no confirmation on emails either. Well, there's a surprise. Obviously, they, like I said, they do not care. Next, oh blimey, there's a few here. Ross. Just Ross. Oh, hello, Ross. He says, this game is absolute shite. I say shite, but you know what I really mean. Shit. I like saying shite because it sounds more, I don't know, theatrical, if you like. This game is a load of shit, but in my terms, shite. I am never playing it again. Everything is awful. I can't play any of the modes, just like myself, and it freezes every time I select the Creation Suite option on the menu. That's a new one. I thought you had to click on each Create a Superstar or something. Heavens above. Next, we have Frankie Toy. You actually called Frankie Toy? You may want to change our name, good sir. Good lady. Frankie's a boy or girl's name. He or she wrote, I tried creating my main... Oh, dear God, more bad English! Goodness sake, people! I have to rephrase this, too. He's basically saying, or she's saying, I'm trying to create my male character, maybe it's a he then, but every time I go to change the face, the game crashes. Heavens above. And it keeps going on, game crashing, from this person, from that person. I've had a look through, there's been 25 responses. I'm sure if I put it up longer, there'd be more. Game crashing. Ooh, here's a new one. From a person named Peter. I cannot get past the loading screen on Expedition mode or any mode. And then there's one here from Mason Scott. He says, I can't get past the first screen where you press start to play. Oh, you poor thing. Oh, for goodness sake. There's so many here, I won't go for all of them. But it's just thing after thing, and what I've noticed is there's a trend. I do not know how they've done it, but everyone has different issues. I do not know how that even works. All games should have the same glitches in theory, if it made sense, but everyone's just had one thing after another. Oh dear God. If you have any of your problems, I would like to know in the comments below, or even tweet at me, because this is rather funny, / irritating, frustrating, because this game company is lazy as hell, and they should be disgusted with themselves. Okay, so overall, we can say this. All the modes Expedition, clunky, universe mode, broken as ever, and still hasn't changed for God knows how many years. And showcase mode, fun for some, but you can only really play it once, and to be fair, it wasn't even that fun. You've seen it on TV. And it's just the same mission over and over again. Not a mode for me. The DLC, Bumper in the Night pack, or whatever the Halloween shite. Waste of money in my eyes. It's just Expedition mode, but in a spooky arena, and you can't even do Inferno or Buried Alive matches in the themed arenas. Hype for nothing. Yes, you get cool, silly weapons. Do all that stuff. Yes, you can put Halloween stuff. It's because that's fun for some. And that's very arcadey. I do not mind the idea. But what you need to do before doing that stuff, you need to make the base game playable. And fix the normal stuff. You know, before you can add the... I don't know what you want to call it. Silly, Halloween-y, fictional type of things in. Make the base game good first, then add that stuff in. And if you do not understand what I'm talking about, you're obviously a buffoon! Moving on, then the Creation Suite. Oh boy, the worst it's been in years. It's a broken version of 19s, pretty much. Then we have highlight reel, video creator, all messed up. Creator entrance, all messed up. I don't know if anyone else has had this problem. That just reminds me, when you scroll through your MyWE list or the moveset list too fast, it crashes the game. Goodness sake. The online is just broken. That's one thing I forgot to mention. The online is just no thank you. I know some people have managed to do it, but a lot of people are having problems with it, and they're still not talking about it. So, I conclude with this. WWE 2K20. Do not get. It is a broken, lazy piece of garbage. Now, for some of you in the core community, that makes you right at home. Because you're garbage too. Now, for the folks out there defending them, why? How can you defend something that lazy? What about the people who... I do not feel sorry for these people, the ones who spent 130 quid or whatever it was on the SmackDown edition. You know what was coming! I do not understand some of you. How can you defend that mess? I get tired after playing one match. Do you remember when you were younger, and you would play Here Comes the Pain? For all of you long-time wrestling gamers out there, when you would play Here Comes the Pain, SmackDown vs. Raw, you could play it for hours with friends. Hours and hours. And you would do this, you would jump off this thing. Like I said before, the base game was good, the gameplay was fun, but then they could add all the silly stuff, like on Here Comes the Pain, or whatever game it was, you could jump off the fist of the old SmackDown arena. You could fly off this thing, you fly off that, but the base game was fun, because it was quick, it was... You know, you could hit that move, and then you go against friends, it'll be quick and fun. And then you want to play again and again and again. Here's a question for you, which I put out on Twitter, which opened to a few people's eyes. When you get the new 2K game, do you want to go back, well, apart from this year, if you exclude this year, when we were in 19, because most people have gone back to 19 now, because 20 is such a mess, would you replay 2K15, 2K16, 17, 18? Now you have 19, would you do that? No, you wouldn't. Now, if I asked you the same question about the Smash vs. Raw games, or Here Comes the Pain, would you go back and play the old ones? Majority of you would say yes. I would. I know tons of people who would, because they're replayable. Yes, they don't have the graphics of these days, but to be fair, has they really changed that much? No, because people found those fun, and you could play them for hours. I played SmackDown vs. Raw 2008 Gear Mode not long back, about 2 weeks ago. It was fun, people. They've lost sight. They're so money-driven, it's unbelievable. And disgusting. We don't care. They don't care about us. We're just money on their spreadsheet. Do they care? No! They've got our money now, so what can we do about it? And I'm proud of PlayStation for giving people refunds who digitally bought it off the store. But you know where I'm getting at. People are disappointed. I am frustrated with the same lazy thing every single year. So here's a bit of homework for you. Why don't you go and look at the other games that released this year and compare it to 2K20? Just look. Look at the gameplay. Look at the graphics. Graphics don't make a good game, but they're just a bonus. But look at 2K20. It looks like it was made on a PS2 with bad gameplay. The modes are stale, old, and unloved. So we need to make our voices heard as the customer. We are frustrated and sick of this laziness. And the more of us that speak up, the more likely it would change. WWE Games Development Team. You better step your game up, good sirs and good ladies. Because at the minute, you are nothing but the biggest numbskulls, morons, douchebags, lying, lazy pieces of garbage in the entire gaming community. You should be ashamed of the codswallop you provided us. Hyping it all up like it's the best thing ever. No. Look in the mirror and see how disappointed we are. Now, that's all I have to say. Sort yourselves out. Now that's off my chest. I'm expecting a few hate comments from the Kiss Ass Club after this. Let's move on to the final segment of the show. Ask Professor Buzzard. Alongside your WWE 2K20 issues, I've also collected your questions, and there are a fair few, so let's get started, shall we? Time for Ask Professor Buzzard. First one is Max Maximus again. Hello, good sir. He asks, are you going to try the new Popeye's chicken sandwich? I'm not a poor person, so no. I like fine cuisine, not that processed rubbish. Ah, Mr. Grimlock DHJ. Good sir. He asks, Professor, so many people in course sicken me. I scroll through my timeline and it saddens me to see so many morons, good word, in this community yapping about their constant need for validation. Good sir. You are Buzzard approved. And their love me posts. So true, so true. My question is to you, where is the best fried chicken in the UK? Well, here's my answer to you, good sir. These fried chicken are probably more talented than these idiots you're talking about. More likability, too. And more personality. As someone who doesn't eat fried chicken, I only eat the fine, like I said to Max Maximus, I only eat the finest cuisine. Ask a little commoner. Ask someone who is putting a few tuppence together. And no, I didn't mean tuppence in the... It's not a euphemism. Dirty-minded fools. Brandon Ace asks, greetings, Professor. What's your opinion on the whole fix WWE 2K20 hashtag? Because it's getting annoying and I can understand the game has problems, but goddamn, I'm just getting tired of people doing this hashtag. Well, good sir, it's fix W2K20 is the only way people are trying to get their attention. It may be annoying to you, but people are trying to make change. And everything I've just discussed in this show, I think it needs change. But where you've said the game has problems, but goddamn, I'm just getting tired of people doing this. Do you know what I'm tired of? People sending me in questions without a comma! You put one at the very start where you put greetings, that's correct, but the rest of the sentence goes on and on and on until the very end, and you've done 3 lines. I would like to take a breath in between the sentence, thank you, good sir. So that answers your question. Tyler Nova, Mr. I'll call Professor the Douche every 5 seconds person. Hello, good sir. He put, hello, Professor Douche. There he is. There it is. Professor Douche again. I was talking to someone the other day, you know who you are, you're probably listening, as you usually do, about people using the same thing over and over again. Find another word, it's not insulting whatsoever. I just wanted to say keep up the great work, and what are your thoughts about this terrible game? Well, I've just given my thoughts on this terrible game, good sir, but I will keep up the great work. Everything I do is great, so you don't need to worry about that. All you need to worry about is finding a dictionary and finding another word that isn't douche. Beautiful Mark asks, hello, good sir, I don't think we've been acquainted. What are your opinions on Ryan Riley and Davina Rose being blacklisted? ? Do you think I should avoid them? I didn't know they were blacklisted at all. But as avoiding them, I would just say this in general. Avoid toxic people, and people who demand stuff, and people who are constantly, oh, I'm sad, and then they're happy again the next day. Avoid those types of people. Like Grimlock said, avoid people who want a validation all the time, and love, and attention seek. So that's how I'm going to answer that. Find a nice group of people. Like myself! I'm a fine fellow, but this community just gives me so much material. I am just truthful. People may see me as a douche, but I don't give a damn! Kyrie Skies asks, she's next. Hi, Professor. I was wondering how to play as a heel like yourself. Now, I feel like I've answered this every week. People want to know how I, well, be great. But Miss Skies, as I've told previous people, this is the one thing I stand by. Being a heel in wrestling, there's a difference between being an asshole and being a heel. So what I'm saying is, don't be a pain in the ass. Don't just target few people for no reason. It could be for story-wise, or just play as it consistently. Don't change and say I'm a heel here and a face there and a heel there and a face there. Be consistent with your character. Be one thing across the board. Don't change in different promotions. That's my advice. And then you can really develop yourself. Now it's your job to take that advice, or be a numbskull and don't listen to it at all. And the final question of the show, from the Core Creation Zone, a guy who's always retweeting my stuff. Again, thank you, good sir. Be proud to be part of the Buzzard Brigade, the few members and fans of mine who have a slight brain cell who follow me and want to be enlightened with knowledge. Good sir, what is your question? Let's have a look down here. You ask, Would it be possible for you to start up a merchandise online store, like with Teespring, or Pro Wrestling Tees? Well, good sir, that is a rather interesting question. You know what, I will start up one of those, affordable too. If I was to do it, I'd make it affordable for everybody. Hint, hint, unite. Ha 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 ha. Old news, let's not get into that. But if I was to set up a store, I would make it affordable. And if there's interest for it, I'll do it. Let me know. Would you be interested in merchandise? I mean, I have some logos, courtesy of Blackwire, and I also have some original logos by myself. So, if you want Buzzard merchandise, put it in the comments below. Let me know. Right, that wraps up this week's show. It's a rather long show, as I realise. And before we leave, I would like to give a personal message towards someone who I've never had an issue with, and, to be fair, is too kind for this community. Not saying they should leave, I'm saying is they're a very kind person. Miss Melissa McNeil. Yes, you good lady, I hope you're listening. And to anyone who knows who's listening, I send my regards after recent events in your life, as you so put it, on Twitter. I'm sorry that you got burgled, and I hope it's all being sorted out. So, I send my best wishes, and I don't do that to many people, because most people are morons. But you, good lady, are just fine as you are. So, on behalf of myself and the Buzzard Brigade, I would like to wish you the best. And I hope it's all being sorted out. Okay, you can find me on all matters of social media, Twitter, @ProfBuzzard, which I mainly am, on Instagram, @BuzzardKnowsBest, and here on YouTube, obviously, subscribe below, and all the links for my different social medias and platforms are all in my description or in the YouTube banner. I have been Professor Buzzard. Do not play WWE 2K20 because it's absolute shite, and remember, don't be a moron, and that Buzzard knows best! Wah ha 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 ha!